and on this week's edition of the BLAST Newscast,
we're going to take a look at the legacy of civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. We're going to take a look at what made Martin Luther King popular, plus how his I Have a Dream speech brought blacks and whites together in one community. I'm Dustin Clifton, and we'll have that story coming up.
Freezing temperatures plus snow and ice is in store for this week. I'm Levi Bennington, and I'll have further details in this week's weather forecast.
These stories and a whole lot more can be seen on this week's edition of BLAST Newscast.
For the week of January 29th, 2013.
And now, coming to you live from our studios in Sharpsville, Indiana, Trenton Byers and Jacob Pyle.
Thank you, Chris Henry. Hello, and welcome to the BLAST Newscast. I'm Jacob Pyle.
And I'm Trenton Byers. Martin Luther King Jr. was many things to this world. He has a celebrated civil rights activist, a Baptist minister, a clergyman, and a leader in the African American civil rights movement. And also made the words, "I have a dream," a household name. 44 years later after his assassination, we still remember him for being a part in bringing blacks and whites together as one community.
During what would have been his 83rd birthday, we still remember him every year during his special holiday. So, here with a look at a legacy of what Martin Luther King Jr. left behind is BLAST Newscast reporter Dustin Clifton.
Thanks, Jacob. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in the great town of Atlanta, Georgia. He was a middle child between an older sister and a younger brother. He later went on to become a pastor at the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama, at only 25 years old. Later, he took part in such things as the Albany movement and a campaign against racial segregation. In 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. stood in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. to give a speech that was famously known as the I Got a Dream speech. This 17-minute speech was a pure example of how blacks and whites got together and realized what his dreams were for this nation and for the world. On April 4, 1968, at 6:01 p.m. Standard Time, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and at the age of 39 years old, he passed away. And that's why every year we honor Martin Luther King Jr. as one of the prime examples in bringing blacks and whites together in one community. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. For the BLAST Newscast, I'm Dustin Clifton.
Thanks, Dustin, for the report. Here's another interesting fact about Martin Luther King Jr. In 1939, a 10-year-old Martin Luther King Jr. sang with his church choir during the Atlanta premiere of a popular classic movie. Can you guess what movie it was? The name of the movie was called Gone with the Wind. A very interesting fact indeed. And now with a look at our other headlines that are making news today is BLAST Newscast headline reporter J.R. Clifton.
Thank you, Jacob. Hello, everyone. Here's our headlines for this week. On February 3rd, Team BLAST is having a Super Bowl party. It's free and it's open to anyone who wants to go. Drinks will be provided, but you will need to take with you a non-sweet finger food. The fun begins at 6. Root for your favorite team and join us for our Super Bowl party. On February 19th, Team BLAST is going to have its second annual Appreciation Day dessert banquet. If you have a song, skit, or poem that you'd like to do in this year's show, let Kensha or Desi know. Acts for the show will be chosen based on tryout purposes only. Help us out in showing our gratitude and appreciation to everyone for their hard work in making Team BLAST possible for us each week. Team BLAST is going to go roller skating at Hoosierland Roller Rink in Frankfurt on March 26th. It'll cost $10, but that will cover 2 hours of roller skating, Papa John's pizza, and tons of fun. Be ready and be set for lots of fun. On April 5th, Team BLAST will be leaving for Muncie, Indiana for Acquire the Fire 2013. The cost is $45. We'll be leaving on the 5th after school, and we'll be there part of that Friday and all day Saturday. Spots will be limited, so if interested, talk to Kendra or Desi because it will be first come, first served. And finally, a reminder for those who haven't put in the money for church camp that the camp for this year is almost full. Team Blast has officially gotten a bus. So for anyone who wants to go to Big Stuff Church Camp in Panama City Beach, Florida, can be able to go. All you have to do is put in your $50 deposit to secure your spot. As of right now, the $50 will go off your church camp total. After this Friday, the camp cost will rise, and the $50 deposit will not be deducted from your church camp total. We have 21 spots filled. If we can get at least 30 people to go this year, the camp price will be lowered. So put your money in right away and help us in raising up enough money for Big Stuff Church Camp. Those are our headlines for this week. I'll be back at the end of the newscast for a preview of what you will see on next week's edition, but for now, I'm J.R. Clifton.
Thanks, JR. And now it's time for our weather with our rain or shine weatherman, Levi Bennington.
Thank you, Trenton. Hello, everybody. We have now reached the upper teens for our high, but with the wind chill, it is very cold. We will be having some snow for our week. Not that much accumulation expected, but we won't see much of anything until around Wednesday or Thursday. So my forecast for today calls for a 30% chance of flurries with a high of 14 degrees and a low of only 8 degrees. Woo. So make sure that your kids are bundled up at the bus stop for tomorrow. Expect a 30% chance of snow showers with a high of 24 degrees and a low of 18 degrees. Keep warm and protected in layers. I'm Levi Bennington, and that's today's weather, folks.
Thank you, Levi. The past couple of weeks, I've went around and filmed footage for another addition to our series of our Team Blast music videos. Well, I'm happy to say we have another new addition to our music videos. This music video talks about God's importance and how we should focus less on ourselves and more on God.
For those of you who don't know what this is, most of our Team Blast music videos are basically popular teen-oriented worship songs. This is our fourth installment in our series. These music videos we've had before have been great and fun to watch, and this one is no exception.
And so, without further ado, the BLAST Newscast is proud to present the premiere of our latest music video, God is Enough!
Every kind of person that's watching this video, please understand that we are not professionals, and yet we still decide to do this because we love God and God Almighty.
With some ladies who be driving Mercedes, who be driving them crazy, and we gotta be crazy. With some fellas who be making them jealous, who be making them stellas, and we gotta be crazy. The king on the throne, left his heavenly home, never did a thing wrong, but they crucified him on a tree that he made. It was crazy how it set the stage for his resurrection from the grave. That gets me amazed. Be the flyest man with $100 grand in your hand, swag right, sag tight, and a Gucci fan. You can be the richest, be the smartest, be the hardest, all
Blast! It's a bomb! Oh, no!
Hey, Mr. No Name, what's a pencil's favorite TV show? I don't know. What is a pencil's favorite TV show? Give up? I guess so. The prize is right! The prize is right! Can't hear you writing my pencil right!
Hey, looking for something to do on a weekday afternoon? Come up and join us for Teen Blast. Our address is 210 South Main Street here in Sharpsville, Indiana, 46068. Anyone 6th grade or older is welcome. We're open after school on Mondays and Wednesdays through Friday from 3 to 6, and Tuesdays from 3 to 9, with Tuesday service from 6:30 to 8:30. Come join us, won't you?
And now with a look at what you will be seeing on next week's newscast is BLAST Newscast headline reporter J.R. Clifton.
Thanks, Jacob. On next week's edition of the BLAST Newscast, we are going to take some time for a small celebration. The BLAST Newscast is officially 1 year old, and so we are going to go through the BLAST Newscast archives on our favorite past episodes, along with interviews from the people that helped make the BLAST Newscast possible. Plus some rare behind-the-scenes footage on how the newscast is filmed each week. Join us as we celebrate BLAST Newscast's 1 year anniversary. That's coming up on next week's edition of the BLAST Newscast. I'm J.R. Clifton. We'll see you then.
Thank you, JR. And with that, that will be it for this week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Trenton Byers.
And I'm Jacob Pyle. Until next week, good night, and God bless my friends.
This is Chris Henry speaking for the BLAST Newscast. This program has been pre-recorded.